Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladevan Jaya Subhadra Maya Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Gaurangi Bengalureshwara Jaya Gaurangi Bengalureshwara Jaya Gaurangi Bengalureshwara Jaya Gaurangi Jaya Vamana Dev Jaya Vamana Dev Vamana Dev Jaya Vamana Dev जय लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा जय हो अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय शालिग्राम जय शालिग्राम शालिग्राम जय शालिग्राम जय निताई चैतन्य जय निताई चैतन्य जय निताई चैतन्य जय गौर हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद् His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय इस्कॉन बीबीटी संस्थापकाचार्य जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। भक्ति प्रदायिनी श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र गोप गोपिका राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई श्री सुदर्शन महाराज की जय। जय श्री श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री द्वारकाधीश धाम की जय। श्री श्री साकेत अयोध्यापुरी धाम की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada की जय। निताई गौर सितनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। श्री श्री कार्तिक दामोदर मास की जय। श्री श्री राधा दामोदर भगवान की जय। श्री श्री यशोदा दामोदर भगवान की जय। निताई गौर सितनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome you all in the morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam, and today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam's canto 4th, chapter 18th, entitled Prithu Maharaj milks the earth planet, and under that we are going to discuss the verse number 8th. So let me share my screen and welcome you all once again on behalf of ISKCON Seshadripuram. I hope my screen is visible to you. So wherever you are, you can recite this verse. नूनं ताविरुधक्षीणा मयि कालेन भूयसा तत्र योगेन दृष्टेन भवान् आदतुम् अर्हति। नूनं ताविरुधक्षीणा मयि कालेन भूयसा तत्र योगेन दृष्टेन भवान् आदतुम् अर्हति। नूनं ताविरुधक्षीणा मयि कालेन भूयसा तत्र योगेन दृष्टेन भवान् आदातुम् अर्हति। So synonyms, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Synonyms: Noonam, therefore; Taha, Taha, those; Viruddha, Virudhaha, herbs and grains; Shinaha, deteriorated; Mai, within me; Kalena, in course of time; Bhuyasha, very much; Tatra, therefore; Yogena, by proper means; Trashtena, acknowledged; Bhavana, your majesty; Adatum, to take; Arhati, out. Translation: due to being stocked for a very long time, I all the grain seeds within me have certainly deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange to take these seeds out by the standard process, which is recommended by the acharyas or shastras. Purport: when there is a scarcity of grain, the government should follow the methods prescribed in the shastras and approved by acharyas. Thus, there will be sufficient production of grain, and food scarcity and famine can be checked. Bhagavad Gita recommends that we perform yajna sacrifices. By the performance of yajna, sufficient cloud gather in the sky, and when there are sufficient clouds, there is also sufficient rainfall. In this way, agriculture matters are taken care of. When there is sufficient grain production, the general populace eats the grains, and the animals like cows, goats, and other domestic animals eat the grasses and grains also. According to this arrangement, human beings should perform the sacrifices recommended in the Shastras, and if they do so, there will no longer be food scarcity. In Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice recommended is Sankirtan Yajna. In this verse, there are two significant words: yogena, by the approved method, and drashtena, exemplified by the former acharyas. One is mistaken if he thinks that by applying modern machines such as tractors, grain can be produced. If one goes to a desert and uses a tractor, there is no possibility of producing grains. We may adopt various means, but it is essential to know that the planet Earth will stop producing grains if sacrifices are not performed. The Earth has already explained that because non devotees are enjoying the production of food, she has reserved the food seeds for the performance of sacrifice. Now, of course, a theist will not believe in the spiritual method of producing grains, but whether they believe or not, the fact remains that we are not independent to produce grain by mechanical means. As far as the approved method is concerned, it is enjoined in the Shastras that the intelligent man in this age will take to the Sankirtana movement, and by so doing, they shall worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, whose bodily complexion is golden and who is always accompanied by his confidential devotees to preach this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. In its present condition, the world can only be saved by introducing this Sankirtana, this Krishna consciousness movement. As we have learned from the previous verse, one who is not in Krishna consciousness is considered a thief. Even though he may be materially very advanced, a thief cannot be placed in a comfortable position. A thief is a thief and he is punishable. Because people are without Krishna consciousness, they have become thieves, and consequently, they are being punished by the laws of material nature. No one can check this, not even by introducing so many relief funds and humanitarian instructions. Unless the people of the world take to Krishna consciousness, there will be a scarcity of food and much suffering. ॐ ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरतुसे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। जयतं सुरतोपङ्गोर मम मन्दमतेर्गति मतः सरस्वपादाम्बुजो श्रीराधामदनमोहनो दिव्याद्वृन्दरण्यकल्पद्रुमदो श्रीमद्रत्नागरासिंहासनो स्थो श्रीमद्राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवो पृष्ठालिभिः सेव्या मनुस्मरामि श्रीमनरासरसारम्भी वांसी वटतट स्थितः कर्षणवेणु स्वनरगोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So welcome you all again in the morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam. And as we said that today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam's Canto 4th, chapter 18th, entitled Prithu Maharaj Milks the Earth Planet. And under that we are going to discuss the verse number 8. So once again I'm going to read the translation. Due to being stocked for a very long time, all the grain seeds within me have certainly deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange to take these seeds out by the standard process, which is recommended by the acharyas or shastras. So, no doubt, all the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita are very important, and even one verse is sufficient enough to take us back to home, back to Godhead. And in this particular chapter, as we will progress, we will see that some of the basic what you called as activities that has to be done by human being that are being explained here, and those activities are summed up here as the Sankirtana Yajna. So, just to give a background here to those who haven't attended the previous verse or not attending this class regularly, so just to give a background here that how sorry, uh, Prithu Maharaj is, got angry upon Mother Earth, right? So the story goes like, because this is a conversation between Maitreya Rishi and Vidura, and Vidura is asking questions to Maitreya Rishi, and he's answering those questions. And this is a part of this conversation between them. And under that, one of the incarnation of Lord as Prithu Maharaj is being discussed in this chapter and the previous chapters as well. So when King Avena, right? So his story starts. I'm just going to keep it short so that we just get a recap of the full, previous verses, so that we do not lose the context. So when King Avena, uh, because he was very cruel, and by Brahmanas he was killed, right? And then he was churned, and from that churning, uh, from the churning, from the right hand, uh, Maharaj Prathu and Mata Archi got manifested, right? They appeared. And then actually we know that how Prathu Maharaj being glorified and he being enthroned by the Brahmanas, right? To take over the kingdom. And when Prathu Maharaj visited the kingdom, though everyone seems very happy that now a good king has taken over. So they were very happy, but he saw that everyone is very thin, right? They are so emaciated, right? The body is very emaciated. So that's why he inquired, right? That this is what is happening in today's world as well. That the prime minister actually or the president inquires from his ministers that how the general populace is doing, right? When he inquired, then he came to know that the people, though they seems very happy, they are unhappy, right? They are why? So because this is the question that has been put by Maharaj Prathu to his ministers and all, right? That why I'm seeing that these peoples are so emaciated, why they are looking so thin, right? Then he came to know that the earth is not producing enough grains, right? In the absence of, you know, the proper harvest, so people are actually suffering from hunger, and that's why they are looking very thin and emaciated. And the reason actually because sometimes it may happen that due to black marketing, right? Storing of the food stuff, the artificial scarcity of grains and food stuffs being created by the the cartel actually that holds on the distribution of the food stuff or the grains, right? And when he inquired from his ministers that is this a question or is this is a reason behind that why the food stuffs are not being distributed properly, because it may be a problem with the distribution system, right? So that as it happens sometimes in today's world as well, we see that the artificial scarcity of the grains being created. And this was not the reason. When he digged more into that question, and he came to know that the earth is not producing enough grains, and because of that the people are looking very thin and emaciated. And this is the reason that King Prathu, Maharaj Prathu, become very angry on Mother Earth. And then we know that Mother Earth actually came to know that Maharaj Prathu is engaged in killing her, right? And then Mother Earth actually came in form of cow, and she started praying to Prathu Maharaj. And that's where this is a conversation, because when she came to know that Maharaj Prathu is actually behind her to kill her, right? So she actually offered her prayers to pacify uh, Maharaj Prithu, so that he do not kill her, right? And in this way, we, gone through the previous verses where uh, Mother Earth actually praying to Maharaj Prithu and saying that, you need to pacify your anger, right? And hear patiently, because whatever I'm going to put forward in your kind attention, please give your thought to it. So but you need to understand that without understanding the proper reason, one shouldn't take any action, right? And Mother Earth again put forward her arguments by saying that to benefit all human society, not in this life but in next, the great seers and sages have prescribed various methods to conducive to the prosperity of the people in general. And one who follows the principles and instruction enjoined by the great sages of the past can utilize these instruction for practical person. Such a person can very easily enjoy the life and pleasures. A foolish person who manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize to the authority of the sages who lay down unimpeachable directions is simply unsuccessful again and again in his attempts. And then Mother Earth further says that, my dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs, grains which are created by Lord Brahma in the past are now being used by non devotees who are devoid of all spiritual understanding. And then Mother Earth says that, my dear king, not only the grains and herbs are being used by non devotees, but as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have hidden all the seeds which were meant for the performance of sacrifice. And in this context, in today's verse that we are reading, the translation goes is, due to being stopped for a very long time, all the grain seeds within me have certainly deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange to take these seed out by the standard process, which is recommended by the acharyas and shastras. So, the very nature of living entity is to enjoy, right? Anandamayo abhyasat, right? But in without proper direction, the living entity may involve in the activities of sense gratification, right? And if this sense gratification is directed or it is done as per the directions given by shastras, then it is proper, right? Then this is not sin. But when it is not done with proper consciousness, then it results into sinful reactions or sinful activities. And then we see that Mother Earth is saying that, why I have hidden grains, because it is said in earlier verses of previous chapters that Mother Earth is having enough food grains to supply all the living entities and more than that, right? So the supply is more than what we need. But in our experiences, we see that there are so many instances where we see that there is flood, there is famine, right? And that actually leads to scarcity of the food. And then we actually, as human being, do not understand that why this is happening, right? So Mother Earth is saying that all these seeds, everything, whatever you see in this world, are being created by Lord Brahma. And since now they are being utilized by non devotees, so who is a non devotee, right? The one who is not actually accepting the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and act on his own rather than taking directions from the Shastras or the Vedas, which are literary incarnation of the Lord, rather than they act on their own whims. And because of they are whimsically performing their activities, they are not worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when they are eating any food stuff, they are not offering to the Lord, right? So it is said in Bhagavad Gita that if it is not offered to the Lord, then what kind of food is we are eating? It is said that this is the only sin that we are eating. And since they are eating in this consciousness and they are eating sins, they are, that's why become sinful. And it is said that whosoever is not recognizing Lord as supreme authority, not offer the foodstuff to the Lord, or they are nothing but thieves, right? So this is a quality of a servant, that he recognized the authority of his Lord, right? His master, and he offers whatever he has got from his master. But in case of the materialistic mentality driven people, they do not accept the authority of the Lord, and hence they are not offering the food stuff, whatever they are eating, to the Lord. Rather than they themselves take the position of the master or the Lord and take the position of Ishvara, and they refute or they decline the authority of Vedas or authority of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And since they are doing this, they are becoming thief. And whatever a thief is has accumulated in his whole life, he cannot remain happy. This is what we have seen, that the time will come when his activities will be exposed to entire world. A thief's activity, right? A thief's activity will be exposed in due course of time, because we cannot hide the truth for longer period of time. The day will come when he will be, just will be put into, in the just environment where he will be judged, and the punishment will be given. So one cannot remain, a thief forever. He has to bear the activities or the fruit of his activities in due course of time. And since these thieves are not utilizing the food stuff or the grains for your sense gratification, rather than they are using it for their own senses gratification, so ultimately the responsibility lies on kings to punish the miscreants, right? But since this particular aspect of justice has been neglected by the previous kings, because they were not punishing these rascals, right? And because of that, these thieves using my grains for their own sense gratification, and that's the reason that I have hidden those seeds. And ultimately, the reason why I was producing those seeds was to perform sacrifices, so that sacrifices can be performed correctly, right? To perform any sacrifice, you need ingredients, right? Without ingredients, in the absence of ingredients, you cannot perform sacrifice. And the greatest sacrifice that is recommended in the age of Kali is Sankirtana Yagya. But since people have become so dull, they cannot understand the importance of Sankirtana Yagya. But here Mother Earth is saying that I have hidden those seeds because of the populace becomes rascal. And since they were not punished by kings, then I have hidden all those seeds. And because of these seeds being stocked for a very long period of time, right? So some of those seeds may have certainly deteriorated. So now I actually ask you to immediately arrange for certain methods to take out of this, take out these seeds, and which standard process which is recommended by acharyas or shastras. And Prabhupada, in the beginning of his purport, is saying that when there is a scarcity of grain, the government should follow the method prescribed in Shastras and approved by the Acharyas. And thus, there will be sufficient production of grain, and food scarcity or famine can be checked. So, we see that nowadays, various governments apply so many methods, right, to procure the food grains, to stock the food grains, and to distribute them among the people. But they are not actually doing in that consciousness where they are propagating the culture of gratitude, right? Being grateful to the God. Rather, people are actually not accepting the authority, right? They are rejecting, they are becoming atheist. And that's the reason that we seeing that, the floods and the famine are so frequent nowadays. And it is said that as Kali Yuga will progress, the frequency will be more, right? So the famine and floods will be frequent. And the reason is that people are not following the footstep shown by previous acharyas and the shastras. And that's the reason that they are being lost in this material world, and they are becoming more and more atheist. And Bhagavad Gita recommends, Prabhupada is saying that when we perform yajna, right, by performance of yajna, sufficient clouds gather in the sky, right? So this is being explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3rd, verse number 14, that annad bhavanti bhutani parajanyad anna sambhava, and yagyad bhavati parajanyo yagya karma samudbhava. So annad bhavanti bhutani. So all the bodies, right? All the living bodies, right? This they actually sustain on the food grains. Annad bhavanti bhutani. And parjanya annad sambhava. Parjanyad anna sambhava. So parjanya means rains. And from the rain, the food grains produced, right? We know that how rain plays a crucial part in food production. And yagyad bhavati parjanyo. When we perform sacrifices, then the parjanya or the rains will come. And yagya karma samadbhava. Rain are produced by the performance of yagya, and yagya is born out of the prescribed duties. So when living entity wants food, right? So they need to perform their prescribed duties, because this is the chain. When you perform your yajna or uh, your activities, prescribed duties properly, then the yajna is complete. And because of that yajna, the rain will be there, rains will be there. And rains are not only rains, but the timely rains. We need to understand this point very clearly, that just rain is not sufficient enough, right? We have seen in our experiences that, and those who are farmers, they can very easily understand this fact, that if rains comes on time, then only the food grains will be in produced properly, right? Otherwise the harvest will not be there, the good harvest will not be there. And that's the reason that in Satyuga times, right, the rains used to be there in the night time only, and before 3 o'clock in the morning, and after 9 o'clock in the night. So this was the timing of rains. So rain usually will not happen in the daytime, it will happen in the night time, and that is again before 3 o'clock, so that people can perform their daily activities without any issues. Right? Earlier we know that we need not the people were not having attached lead bath in their rooms, right? So generally they used to go for their daily activities outside of their house, right? And that again before sunrise, correct? So if rain is there, then how they will go and they can perform their duties properly? So that was one of the aspect of Satyuga, that rain were not untimely, right? Rains were there, but they were come on time whenever there was need, right? So suppose if they have sown the seeds, right? So if they have tilled the land, they know that after 2 days the rains will come, and that's why the method was so accurate, right? That they will sow the seed and they know that after 7 days rains will be there, and after again 7 days there rains will be there. So whenever there is need of water, rains will be there, right? So that they can get good harvest and there will be no scarcity of the food grains. And why this was happening properly? because they were performing their duties properly, they were performing yajnas properly, and because of they were performing yajnas properly, their prescribed duties properly, they were getting rains on time. They were, because the rains were on time, they were getting good harvest, and because of they were getting good harvest, there was no scarcity of the food stuff. So we need to understand the Supreme Lord, who is known as Yajna Purusha, or the personal beneficiary of all the sacrifices, is the master of all the demigods, and who serve him as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. And demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna are appointed officers who manage material affairs. And the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light, water sufficiently to produce food grains. So, when Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods who are different limbs of the Lord are automatically get worshipped, and therefore there is no separate need to worship the demigods. And for that the reason we know that if you water the root of the tree, the whole tree get nourished. You need not to pour water on the leaves, individual leaf, right? You just need to water the root of the tree and the whole tree will get nourished. So when we worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all other demigods like Varuna, Indra, Chandra, everyone gets satisfied. And when we do that, when we worship the Supreme Personality Godhead with that consciousness, then definitely there will be no scarcity of the food grain. Everything will be on time, because all the other demigods who are authorities to provide light, to provide air, to provide water, everyone will get satisfied, and everyone in this world will get everything on time, right? Correct? And that's the reason there will be no scarcity. So, so the devotee of the Lord, so they are, because they are in Krishna consciousness, or they are into this mentality of accepting the Lord as the supreme personality of Godhead, they offer food to the Krishna, right? And then eat. So, in this way, the Lord is satisfied because they are offering food to the Lord. And since they are accepting the remnants, right, of the Lord, then in the process, the whole body get nourished, and not only the body get nourished materially, but the body get nourished spiritually, right? And by such actions, not only the past sinful reaction in the body get eliminated, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of the material nature also, right? And when there is an epidemic disease, we came across this epidemic of corona, right? And in this we saw that the vaccines were created to protect the people from the attack of such epidemic. So when food stuff is offered to the Lord, right? Then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material afflictions. And one who's accustomed to this process or this practice is called a devotee of the Lord. And therefore, Prabhupada says that in a Krishna consciousness person who eats only the food offered to the Krishna, that he can counteract all reactions of past material infections, which are impediment in the process of self-realizations. And on the other hand, those who are not doing it, they increase the volume of sinful reaction. And because of that, their body actually we know that how they look like. And they suffer resultant actions of their resultant reactions of all those sins that they have accumulated. So now we need to understand that when activities are performed perfectly as per the prescribed process of Vedas, then we actually get the benefit of that activity in terms of proper care by the Lord, right? So, because here actually, if you see, the sacrifices are to be done as per the process prescribed by or recommended by acharyas or shastras. We shouldn't do whimsically, right? So we know that when we do that, nothing is, a scare for us. Everything will be properly provided by the Lord. In the example of Mrigarari, we saw that, that when he was half killing the animals, and when Narada Muni saw that he is going to suffer, for time immemorial in hell. So he went to Mrigarari and he asked him that, please give away this habit of half killing the animals. You should kill the animal in one shot only. You shouldn't let them suffer. So Mrigarari, when he saw Narada Muni, he was surprised to, hear this, because generally, when we perform any sinful activity, people ask us to cease that sinful reaction altogether. They won't say that, do it half or they do it in full. Correct. So he was surprised that you look like a very saintly person, but rather than you are asking me to stop this killing, you are telling me that you should kill it in one go, right? I couldn't understand this. Then Narad Muni told her that, since you are killing those animals half, so they are suffering, very badly, right? So you should kill them in one go, then only, because you are accumulating so much of sins because of this. And then we know that how Narada Muni, make him see to the sinful reaction in the hell, that how he's going to suffer, because whomsoever animals he was killing, they were waiting for him to be there in hell, and they can actually reciprocate in the same way. So when he saw that, he became very terrified, and he immediately asked Narada Muni that I take your shelter, and please, I do not want to suffer in the hell. So please tell me, how can I get rid of my sinful reactions? Then Narad Muni asked him that you just give up this killing, and you should break this bow, and then only you can get rid of this. And he said that, I cannot actually give up this, I cannot break this bow, right? Because this is being given by my father, and my father got it from his father, and like that, it is like from generation is being passed to one generation to another. And that's the by this parampara method I have received this, so I cannot actually break my bow. But Narada Muni said that you shouldn't think about this, you should break it. Then he said that, if I break this, then how I am going to survive? Because this is the only mean by which I am surviving in this world. If I break this, then there is no other way by which I can survive. Then Narada Muni told him that you need not to worry, because Lord is, father of all the living entities in this world, and he's providing for everyone, right? You just look at this ant. How she's getting the food, right? The food is being arranged for her. And similarly, the biggest animal in the forest, elephant, he's also getting the food, and he need not to worry about anything, because Lord is the provider for everyone. So when Lord is providing to such a small living entity like ant, and a big living entity like elephant, then Lord certainly can take care of you as well. You need not to worry about that how you are going to survive. So by these words of Narada Muni, he got pacified, and he immediately broke that bow, and he started living in the saintly way in his village. So outside of village, he actually constructed a hut, and he started chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when the people of village, when they heard that the Mrigarari, who was so cruel, was half killing the animals, has transformed and is, is given up all the sinful activities, and now he's daily 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, he's just chanting Lord's name. Then everyone got curious to see and to meet him and to understand that the reason behind his transformation, so that they can also be transformed. So in when they heard that he is become saintly person, so everyone actually went to started meeting this hunter Mrigrari. So in earlier ages, it was a custom that whenever you are going to meet any superior person or a saintly person, or anyone for that matter, they will take along with something to offer that person. So everyone was bringing certain food stuff, some vegetables, some fruits, and all. So he was getting more than what he needed. And then he could understand that just by simply depending upon Lord, everything is possible, everything can be arranged. You need not to worry about it. So similarly in our life as well, when we totally depend on Krishna without worrying about that how things will get being arranged or going to be there for us. If we just take shelter of the Lord, and if we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and we just follow the footsteps of the previous acharyas and the direction of Vedas and direction of acharyas to fulfill the desire of the Lord, right? Then what is the desire of the Lord? The desire of Lord is that all the living entities in this world, in this universe, come back to home, back to Godhead, like a father waiting for all his children to come back to home. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is waiting for all the living entities to come back to home, back to Godhead. And when we, as part and parcel of the Lord, follow the instruction given by the Lord, then we certainly satisfy the Lord. And in this way, we can actually purify ourselves, and at the same time, we can satisfy the Lord, and we can achieve the highest aim of our life, that is going back to home, back to Godhead, by chanting Lord's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Prabhupada says that in Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice recommended is Sankirtana Yajna. So there was one beautiful pastime of Prabhupada, that once actually there was a famine in the state of Andhra Pradesh, right? And Prabhupada was asked by the government authorities that since you are an international organization, so please help us so that we can actually fight with this famine, and we can provide food stuff to people in general, right? So when this request came to Srila Prabhupada, because the aim of the official was to get some money from Srila Prabhupada so that they can utilize in distributing food stuff to people. So Prabhupada said, yes, definitely we will help you. And Prabhupada actually conducted a big Harinam Sankirtan in the state of Andhra Pradesh in Hyderabad, from Charminar to the present temple. So there was a huge gathering, and all the devotees actually performed a big Harinam Sankirtan in this state of Andhra Pradesh in Hyderabad. And very next day there was heavy rains, and this became a news, and it was being published in all the newspapers that Hare Krishna people brought rains in Andhra Pradesh. So we see that it is a very practical way of you know uh, come over any problem in the life, right? It's not just rains, because we as a living entity come across many difficulties in our life, and especially in this age of Kali, padam padam yat vipadam. So we need to be very sure about taking shelter of the holy names. So when we take shelter of the holy names, then there will be no scarcity, and the protection will be provided by the Lord to all those who are sincerely taking this uh, instruction as life and soul of their life, and they are following the footstep of previous acharyas. So with that, I will end here. So is there any question? We can take it. Otherwise, we will wind. Is there any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Nicely.
Thank you. Godhan Prabhu, any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandra Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for very wonderful class, Prabhuji. I was just thinking, Prabhu, at the present scenario, like how the things are going on in Kali Yuga now. So definitely there is many places there will be scarcity of food grains in the future, as it's the Kali Yuga. In the coming years, like coming generations, maybe they will going to suffer. So this 10,000 years is the golden period. After that, maybe there will be the worst periods are going to yet to come. So, Prabhuji, the only hope is the Sankirtan Yajna, as you said very rightly. So, that's my understanding, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your
Yes.
class.
Thank you so much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, अमल पुराण श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निथाई गौर सितनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।